so this week I've worked with the most adorable cat. He's so sweet. And what was lovely about it is that the reason I was there to see him is because he's nervous, which is sweet because normally the nervous side is like the secondary problem or like the underlying problem, and what I'm actually called in for is the consequence of that. So like people want me to help with urine marking or peeing outside the tray or aggression or cats biting, and that sometimes happens because cats are nervous. So it was quite different and quite sweet to be called in because the owner had recognised that their cat wasn't well, that they were nervous, and was just wondering how to help and making sure they were doing all the right things and really had their best interest at heart. And I know that is the case for most people that I do work with, even if it is that, you know, they want the problem resolved. But sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it is just, no, I need my cat to stop peeing or peeing on my bed because it's overwhelming and horrible. So it's just so nice to work with someone that's just got their cat's best interest at heart, and really prioritises that. So that was really sweet. And I'm looking forward to working with him and seeing how it goes over the next 4 months. And so basically that was just about understanding why he's the way he is, which is good because we chatted all about his history and about how that shaped him as an individual and what that means for his current environment, like how we can minimise, like it's not a case that we need to make him less nervous, it's more of a case that we need to keep a cap on the things that make him upset, because all cats will be stressed by something. They'll all have a level where they can't cope, and his level is just down here because of his history and where he came from. And every cat's an individual, so they'll all have their own, like, I don't know, triggers and reasons for why they are the way they are. So we spoke loads about, you know, what his specific triggers are and how we can manage things to keep them down, and how you can't avoid stress forever. That's just unrealistic. So it's not a case of, you know, if you've got a nervous cat, you can't have a stressful household, because what happens if you want to go on holiday one day? What happens if you want to have a new kitchen put in, or things that are typically stressful for a cat? I wouldn't expect anyone to just not do them forever. So it is about helping them cope in those situations. So we talked a lot about that as well, and, you know, how during those times what you can do to help make them a bit more resilient to that. So for me, I just loved it because it just felt really nice to focus on that side of things rather than the consequence of that, because he wasn't urine marking, he wasn't peeing outside the tray, he wasn't being aggressive to anyone. He's the sweetest cat. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I just thought it was so nice, and like for me, nice on two ways, because obviously that was just a really lovely consultation and I loved the lady and it was really lovely to chat to her and she was great. And then, but for me also, the pressure's off. Oh, sorry, there's a bee. The pressure's off for me because I'll do everything I can to help him, because that's what I do with every cat. But it's not a case of, are we going to resolve the issue? It is a case of, what can we do for him? If that's nothing, then that's that, because this is him. But hopefully there is plenty we can do, and I do think we can. But it's very early days and I still have the report to write up, to be fair. So yeah, it's just, from a behaviourist perspective, it's nice to have that low pressure one where you're just focusing on making this cat as happy as he possibly can be in the current environment that he's in. So I've just loved it, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he does over the next few months. But it made a nice change not to be talking about litter trays and where the spray marks are and what causes aggression and yeah, these sorts of things. So yeah, anyway, hope you guys are all well. Hope you have a lovely Mother's Day on Sunday if you're in the UK. Cat mums around, and clocks go forward, so spring is officially coming this weekend. I'm so ready for it. Anyway, hope you guys are all good, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care, bye.